I started riding horses when I was 13, I believe. Horses, I think, are a lot like people. They all have their own personality, and what I think is amazing is horses can be so broken, and what's amazing is you can see how broken they are. They don't hide it. They're not ashamed of it. It's all right there to see.
Sarah is our veteran. Sarah was voted in high school most likely to be your best friend. She was into everything. She is an equestrian, so she was very active, very outgoing, friends at the house all the time.
Sarah is a Massachusetts native who now lives in Florida. She's part of a military family. Her stepfather is a Marine, and Sarah entered the Air Force after high school.
Some of the fears we had for Sarah going into the military, I knew it would change her, and I would hope that it would change her for the better.
Sarah enjoyed her first deployment, so much so that she signed up for a second and headed back to Iraq. As soon as she landed, however, her group was rushed onto a ramp where planes were coming in and out.
We were there to load an Army soldier into the back of a C-130 in a flag-draped casket and send him home. So that made it very real very quickly. So it was an eye-opener to what we had really gotten ourselves into.
Sarah doesn't talk much about her time deployed, but her parents say the Air Force police officer struggled visibly when she came home, with sleepless nights, mood swings, low energy, and self-induced isolation.
After that second deployment, something happened. She'll never talk about it, especially with me. Something happened.
Sharon suggested her daughter call home base and receive counseling after her wartime experience. Sarah brushed her off. Sharon, though, was determined to do something. So when she heard about the charity's biggest fundraiser, she signed up.
The run to home base, I did have an ulterior motive. By me running, I knew I was helping other veterans, but in the process, hoping to plant that seed into my daughter's mind and heart that this could also help her. Because as a parent, you know what your kids need. That's the hardest part. She was so strong and independent, outgoing, and now I have to sometimes go to the grocery store with her. She can't handle it.
I felt guilt, I felt shame, I was embarrassed. I felt like I was constantly judged by every single person. I felt like I had a sign on my head that was like telling people to judge me for what I had done. You can't live like that. It's no way to live. And the biggest step is picking up that phone and calling the number for the home base program.
It took years before Sarah was ready to confront her issues, but when she did, she enrolled in Home Base's intensive clinical program to heal the invisible wounds of war.
The first few days in Boston were what I call fire hosing. They basically fed so much information in such a short amount of time, but in a way that you understood it. All the clinicians, the social workers, the nurses, everybody, it was like a no judgment zone.
In the ICP, Sarah received nearly a year's worth of traditional and group therapy in 2 weeks' time. Clinical care, plus complementary alternative medicine such as art therapy.
They wanted us to create something on the outside that we thought we projected to everybody else. And then on the inside of the mask, how we actually felt inside.
It was intense, and as the days went by, she began to see some changes in herself. She talked about it on Facebook, sharing her experience in the ICP each night during the 2-week program.
I had people that I had no idea, people that I was on the same team with, that were reaching out saying that they were suffering too, and I had no idea. And I was with them and had no idea that stuff affected them the same way. So it almost helped me because I didn't feel so alone.
Sarah's stepdad, Mike, also felt he was part of something bigger. He came to the ICP as part of Sarah's support network. During the 2 weeks, family members received their own set of programming to help them understand what their veteran is facing.
We're all on the same team, trying to do the same, trying to get victory for our loved ones. That's what it's all about, victory. I didn't know what I could do to help her. I just stand back and watch. And the home-based program really opened my eyes up as far as things that can happen to you. Like if you don't get shrapnel or a wound like that, there's other wounds that are more severe, believe it or not, like moral injury. And this opened my eyes to really, that helped me understand more what Sarah was really going through. And that in itself was priceless. I can't even tell you how much that helped me to understand more what was going on with her. And it was awesome.
Back at home, Sarah's quality of life continues to improve, using the various therapies and techniques she learned in the ICP to help her cope with daily life.
And I actually have a thumb drive that was made for us with deep breathing techniques, muscle relaxation. I can listen to these recordings, and what it does is it not only helps me to remember the tools, but it puts me back because I'm hearing their voices.
She brought home a lot of tools to help her when she gets really anxious or needs to go to the grocery store and I'm not available to go with her. She can manage to do that now.
And for Sarah's family, life is coming full circle. When Homebase's Run to Home Base fundraiser expanded to Florida in 2017, the entire family signed up.
What Home Base has done for her has made her outgoing again and a little more carefree.
It was the best thing that ever could have happened to her.
I think victory was ours, for sure. Yep. And coming back after the program, we have victory. We do. And it's wonderful.